everybody. This is Brett Jolly, and this is my lovely co-host, Toni Trower, and we are here for another edition of People Like Us. Something very, very fascinating today, and actually, I happened to find this lady through a relative, but it's a really great thing, and she's gonna expound on a lot of instances. Well, first off, Toni, say hello.
Hey everybody, how are you? Thank you for tuning in.
Yeah.
Before we get started, if you guys are enjoying People Like Us, if you could like, share, and subscribe, that would mean the world to us.
Absolutely, yes, and thank you so much for doing it. And we have a very, very special guest today, a lady who, believe it or not, I'm meeting for the very first time, but the story is really remarkable and very unique. And please state for everybody else what your name is.
I am Sonya Womack-Miranda, and I am the author of the book that you've invited me here to talk about, which is Unnamed, The Search for Sarah Miller.
Beautiful. And can you give us like a synopsis or an overview of what this book is about?
Okay, so Unnamed, The Search for Sarah Miller details an 11-year search for really not just Sarah, but Sarah's parents who were enslaved. So I got this inspiration from my mother, who asked me to look for she just said, I want to know who we are. From the age of 12 years old, my mother said to me, we were not American. We were not from America. Mm-hmm. She said, she showed me a picture in a National Geographic of people from Senegal. And she said, this is who we are. We're from Africa. And I heard that at 12. Really? So as I grew up, of course, that stuck in my mind. And for some reason, as I got older, I said, I'm going to find out more about my dad's family. That's really who I wanted to know about. My mother said, no, I need you to research my family. And that's where it all started, the search for Sarah Miller.
Got you. So how did
So your mother is Sarah?
My mother is Sarah's great-granddaughter. I'm Sarah's great-great-granddaughter.
So that is your great-great-grandmother,
yes,
Sarah
that's my
Miller.
great-great-grandmother.
Wow.
Yes, born on the Sharswood plantation. Yes.
Wow. So how was, because I know, considering family, I know how it is with my own. How does she manage to keep up with everything and know exactly what the lineage is between you and
her father?
Really?
Her father was the first, no, I believe it was his father, Max Miller, who was the original historian, black historian, born in 1894, somewhere around there. His parents were slaves. So I believe it was Max who passed it on to my grandfather, my mother's father, who was definitely an historian. He was a Miller family historian. He preserved the names of the slaves in a 70-year-old Bible. He wrote them down so that we would know who they were. So that's where it all started. It started with, I believe, Max, his son, Charlie, my mother, who then passed it on to me.
Wow. That is absolutely incredible. When it comes to something like this, how do you, because your families can go into branch off in many different directions. How do you know which direction to go to figure out your lineage and your ancestry?
Okay, very good question. It's really, you can become obsessed over the research. You have to decide in what direction you want to go, because it is so fascinating. I had a relative ask me, did I have a job? Because they were like, how can you sit and do this? And I'm like, how can you not?
Exactly.
When you know that the information is there. So for me...
And you had a mission.
Yes, my mom said, we're not from here. I wanted to prove it. I want to know if we're not, who are we then? Exactly. And that was where where it all came about, where, it all culminated into looking for this person she called Sarah that she had never met. She just heard about her. She said, find Sarah. I started searching for Sarah in a time when it really wasn't that Ancestry had released all of these records that you have now. And I came back to my mom, I said, do you know there are like, oh boy, I forgot how many. I was like, there are like 63,000 Sarah Millers in Pittsylvania County, Virginia. And she said, oh. I said, we're not going to be able to find this person. but I was determined.
Uh-huh.
After that, I said, oh no, I have got to do it. And the key, what I want people to know, is what you have to have in your family is a historian
Absolutely.
who knows, like, the family members, who can tell you the history. That historian will confirm what you're uncovering. And that's really the key in what how I was able to find Sarah, as well as her parents, the enslaved, was from those historians who had it. They had it up here. They don't write it down necessarily like my
Well,
granddad.
that's the way it was over
Yes.
over in how it was history was told.
Oral.
Yeah, it was like stories.
Yes.
Stories and passed on stories.
It's oral. We come from a people who record things it's oral.
Right.
And they were still doing it, but they probably don't even know that they were doing it.
Right.
They just, that's something they do. And here's the thing, you also have to find those historians they're willing to give you that history.
Wow.
Because there's some, I call in the book, they're gatekeepers.
Mhm.
They don't give it to you.
Well, what's the point of keeping the history if you don't share it?
They have their reasons.
Is it like hoarding or something?
They have their
Power?
reasons. I don't feel it's that. I feel that slavery was so painful. I feel that they are looking for ways to just make it go away. I call it the transatlantic trauma. So I don't want to have to, drudge all that stuff up.
Right.
I've had older relatives or elders say to me, leave that alone. Just leave that alone. And I understand
It's
that.
painful.
But at the same time, we walk around with a sense of being disconnected from who we are because they are not telling us, who we're connected to. Who are these powerful people that I uncovered? These slaves who had the courage to run. I found runaway slaves. I found slaves 9 and 10 years out of slavery owning 300 acres of land. So all of these stories that we've been told that our story began with slavery, with American history, no, that's not true. It's not where we started, but it's the onus is on us to go out there and uncover exactly where we originated. Who were we? It's now our responsibility to do that.
I agree.
Wow.
I agree. That is amazing. Let me ask you this. Did you use any DNA?
Yes.
Most definitely.
Okay.
I used 2 companies. I used Ancestry, but I also used the African American company that's based in Washington, D.C., which have all the rights to the African American, African DNA. I wanted to see if they were able to give me the same thing.
Uh-huh.
I just wanted to know that, if it's different, then it's
Like
not
a
true.
second opinion
Exactly.
kind of? Yeah.
I never heard of that. What company?
African Ancestry. Oh, they're huge.
Really?
All the celebrities get their DNA done through African Ancestry.
Really?
Oh yes, Oprah, Samuel L. Jackson.
So how would you get in? What would be? I guess you have to search them online, right? And
Online,
what name would you use?
African Ancestry. They send you your kit, just like
Okay.
Ancestry.
AfricanAncestry.com.
.com.
Right?
Sorry,
Yeah.
AfricanAncestry.com.
Okay.
I think it's Dr. Kittle is the founder and owner, if I'm not mistaken.
I
Yes.
think that everybody that is of African descent needs to register so that we all will be in the same database.
Right, because we got to find out about all of us. I mean, if you think about it, I mean, our history is kind
Which
of
would
been
be
erased.
everybody, right? Everybody
Your
came
history
from
was
Africa,
erased.
from
Yeah,
what
it
I
was erased.
understand. That's the motherland,
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of things about my ancestors I would love to find out. I mean, I got a picture of my great grandfather. That's all I got about him. Really was a playboy or something like that. But I don't.
But
I don't know.
it's there. It's there for you now. It's a matter of you going in there, putting in your great grandfather's name and ancestry. Of course, there's FamilySearch.org.
Wow.
That's free. I like Ancestry because it does the work for you.
Mhm.
You put in your great grandfather's name, it starts giving you hints. These little leaves. It'll say, this is Jolly. I think this is your such and such. This is Jolly. And it's up to you to confirm. So then you go back to the oldest living relative historian that's in your family and say, by the way, have you ever heard of this person? And that's how you are cross-referencing and finding out, are these people truly my ancestors?
Amazing, absolutely amazing. So would you recommend that for everybody? You think?
Absolutely. I talk about in the book this feeling of just being free. you know, we talk about being enslaved, but I said the moment you find out who you truly are, it's like you have been freed as an African American, truly, because you are finding out all that you thought that wasn't there. I didn't know that I was Nigerian. I didn't know that I was of the Fulani and the Hausa tribes of northern Nigeria. Do you know how powerful that is to learn that? I had a Nigerian person tell me I hated my neck because it has lines, and they said, oh, and this was long before I ever did the DNA test. They said, oh, that's a Nigerian neck. Give me a break. And when I got the DNA test back, I said, they were right. I said,
I love where you love your neck now, right?
I totally love my neck. I said, that's my heritage.
That's absolutely
yeah.
So it's just like people's eyes, you could tell that they're probably from this area of, or that area, because people have certain looks about them, their eyes, their cheekbones, etc.
And I was so proud to know, because in that search for Sarah, I still circled back to my dad. My dad is the Nigerian. So I'm like, my mom, their line is, they're from Cameroon. So I'm like, this is who I am. And I'm looking at him going, yes, he's Nigerian. Absolutely, he looks it. So those are the things you're finding out when you do the DNA, when you do the genealogy. It's amazing.
Let me ask you this. In your search, have you come across any, because there's like a surge happening right now. A lot of African Americans are doing the DNA test, and they are literally able to go back to Africa, and they're either gifted or they're able to purchase land, and they're building houses over there. People are just like leaving and going home.
My cousin has done it.
Really?
I have a cousin that's done it. I'm thinking about it. I've been to Africa.
And I heard they do dual citizenship too. They don't make you give up your citizenship of your American citizenship. You get to keep your passport, and then after over 7 or 10 years, depending on what country, you get your citizenship there.
I thought about it. I haven't done it, but you're right. I have a friend who, when I first started down this journey of saying, oh, I want to go back to Africa, he was saying, oh, yeah, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. Of course, they're building homes in Africa. Absolutely.
Beautiful homes, and
affordable.
It's so unfortunate that,
some other day.
we were literally looking at it. I told him I'm leaving. I said I'm leaving, but I have to figure out where I'm supposed to go first, because I got so much mix inside of me, I don't know. I gotta do the ancestry thing. But but it's a darn shame that we can't afford to retire here. A lot of people can't afford to live here, can't afford to retire here after everything that we put into this country, but we can go over to other countries and actually survive and live comfortably, more, retire way better than here.
Africa's on the rise.
Most definitely on the rise.
Let me ask you, what the series Roots, is that instrumental in people trying to, I keep thinking I should be looking for my ancestor, Kunta Jolly. Okay, well, maybe not. Okay, that's fine.
I don't think you should be looking for Kunta Jolly. I think you should start the genealogy part first.
Okay, all right.
And see where it leads you. It may lead you to a Kunta Jolly, but yeah.
That's all good. Well, one thing I want to mention, you have been on television with this. Can you explain it? You were on 60
Minutes?
Oh, please.
Okay, so yes, my family and I were on 60 Minutes. The initial story came out in the Washington Post when my cousin purchased a house that he had no knowledge about. I didn't necessarily know that cousin either.
Wait a minute, is this the one that he didn't know it was a plantation?
Exactly.
I literally just saw that whole little documentary thing. And part of the reason, what you were going back to what you were saying before, is a lot of people didn't know about their histories because it was so painful. Your family didn't even know that anything about
his portion of his family.
They didn't know.
They knew nothing.
And they kept asking them on that documentary. You didn't know? No, we didn't know. Nobody wanted to talk about it because it was so painful. They just wanted to bury it.
Yeah, but you heard Dexter, which is another cousin, say he did know about it. He did know. Because we did.
And then another cousin, both of them, they were passionate about it, just like you.
That was me, but Dexter knew about it as well. My grandfather always called it the Miller plantation. So we knew about it. Fred, who's the person who purchased it, no, their family did not. But and that's why the
Wait,
story.
you were the cousin that was on there with Dexter.
Yes, yes.
Yes, both of you guys were showing all the research and stuff that you did.
That
I
was
saw.
me, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, our family, and we had a historian, Alberta Miller Womack, and she walked us through our entire history. Absolutely. I dedicate almost a whole chapter to her. If it weren't for her, we wouldn't have been able to tie the slaves to that plantation.
Right. So your family was is that a same plantation or
same
different?
Plantation? The very same plantation.
So if people have seen or want to see the 60 Minutes documentary, if they wanted to find out more, they would just simply buy your book.
Oh, absolutely.
Right.
Buy the book. Absolutely.
Yeah, because your book goes into great detail.
It goes into the entire story of how I uncovered the history. They can go to www.unnamedsarahmiller.com and they can access just a little bit more background about the story. The book is sold anywhere books are sold.
Oh,
So
I got a question. I mean, this is really very interesting. But if you went into this, how far back do you think people can go?
I am not sure. I have taken my African ancestry all the way back to 1799.
Wow.
So I don't know about anyone else. I'm telling you where I take mine.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
1799.
Wow. But then that might be one stream, because if you think about it, right? Like okay, I have two parents,
64.
of course, and they had
64.
64.
You're gonna have 64 sets of grandparents.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. So how do you know? How do you determine which? Because it's like a.
I just wanted to know, again, for me, even looking for Sarah, I just wanted to know my dad's line. I wanted to know who is my father, and what amazed me. This is really crazy. I have my mother's color. My father is looks Nigerian, of a darker Nigerian, but he has more Caucasian blood.
Oh, really?
So that blew my mind, because I could see his Caucasian lineage. I couldn't find it in my mother's family.
Okay.
So those are the things you're finding. So I stopped searching for Sarah's lineage, because what African Americans will definitely encounter is that roadblock,
right,
where it just stops. It's a dead end, and you can't find anything. But my father kept going. It just kept going. So I decided, why not continue to follow his genealogy,
Right.
his line.
I got you. Now I did a DNA thing, and of course I'm like 53% sub-Saharan African, and of course, but that's just it. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I'm not very well versed on it, but I will say this: it's at 33% European. So I'm not sure what to make of it. I think I need to do it all over again, probably.
I could see it.
That's a lot. Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah. That,
I don't know.
maybe I could see it.
You can, wait a minute, how are you going to see that?
Well,
you see 33% of me?
I see it. I see
it.
nose, eyes, color. Yeah.
Whatever it is, I'm here.
Yeah.
That's important.
And see, I had to learn.
It's you, though.
Yeah.
It's you.
It's me,
It's you. You know, and it's who you are.
I understand that. So okay, so with that being said, and because there's been a lot of race mixing through the centuries. So when do we get to the point where everybody from race mixing is so different that everybody is the same?
I think that might be now, right?
I personally believe, and I could be wrong, that there are more people walking around that are black, but look Caucasian.
That would be my family.
I just feel that. I 100% feel that.
That would be my family.
Yes.
They from my ancestors came over as well, but once they started mixing with the white, they just kept going. I mean, I feel like, I get treated better. You know what I mean? And I love y'all, and they know it's true. And then they just kept on mixing. So now when we go to family reunions or we go to funerals or something like that, I was asking my grandmother, "Who's that white man?" She said, "That's your cousin."
Yeah.
Brett's been in my family reunion, so yeah, but then there's like I have too much stuff. I think I just go ahead and need to. My mom is Mexican.
I can see it.
From like we're from Mexico, we're Aztecs, and then my grandfather on my father's side is from Jamaica, and my father said our family migrated from India to Jamaica, so I think I need to do the same thing and like just figure out. But I think I'm more curious about my Mexican heritage because I feel like we don't have any historians in my Mexican side because everybody's so determined to be so American.
Okay.
Like literally, my mom never even taught us how to speak Spanish.
Which is a part of what happens. Yeah, that's the whole.
Everything is American, you know. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
In your honest opinion, are there any pure racists left? Anybody a pure race?
Oh, maybe over in the
On the
other
continent.
countries.
You know, I mean, some of the people who were racist.
But then
of course,
again, like even if the people in Ireland, some people may have migrated from another Caucasian country and
right.
then
So can they even
with
tell?
the Irish people, and they might be half Irish and half this.
But even the Irish were
you know.
considered black at one time. That's why they call them the Black Irish.
Wow. I mean, yeah, that's true because like there's some people that I've seen that have gone home that were black folks. They found grandparents and great grandparents and stuff that's their home or the side that they chose.
And some of the racists who stand by their principle, how many of them know for sure how far back they go? They might. I've heard that everybody originated from Africa.
Yeah, I challenge any racist out there or people that you don't think you're racist, but when you use the word DEI, I challenge you to take a test, a genealogy test. I challenge you.
Yep.
Well, that would be interesting. Because if you find out that you're part black, but you've been hating against all the rest of us, then you better summon all your black abilities to fight.
Or if you're Mexican, or if your great grandmother was Mexican, you know you ain't right.
Yeah. Exactly. So it's an interesting thing. I would like to know what is next. I mean, basically for you, I know you've done a lot. So is there much more that you have to accomplish?
I don't think there's much more that I need to accomplish as it relates to unearthing my genealogy, my family history. I just simply want to tell the story of the enslaved, the silenced voices.
Right.
I want to tell their story. I want you to know that they were conquerors. They were warriors. They just didn't submit and be, decide I'm just going to be a slave.
Right.
They were fighting. One of the most interesting things I wrote about in the book, Sharswood, again, now owned by an African American, was that the house he purchased is the second house. The first one was burned down during a slave rebellion. That is written nowhere in history.
Why would they?
That's nowhere.
Why would they want to write a rebellion?
The only rebellion you know about is Nat Turner. But that house was burned to the ground by the enslaved. So again, those are my ancestors. They were fighting.
Right, but they don't want us. They didn't want slaves to know other slaves were fighting because they couldn't keep them under control.
Exactly.
And it does sound like you just told your next chapter.
Well,
you know what I mean?
don't think that's it. My next chapter.
I mean, like, what still is inside of you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To talk about the stories of
Tell the stories. My next book is Unnamed: The Search for Margaret Womack.
Oh.
So that is my father's line.
Okay.
I want to tell her story. I want to tell you about what was going on inside the house, not outside.
Right.
And that is the next chapter for me.
That's going to be interesting because a lot of people don't know what happened inside like the master's house,
Exactly.
right? That's going to be really triggering for a lot of people. I would definitely want to know.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that are going to be very, very controversial.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm just trying to be nice about it, about it. But I think that it needs to be
One
said.
of
I
the
think
things
we need to find out.
For her, in all of the census records and the narratives, it says she's mulatto.
Yep.
So you know she's the product.
You know she was raped.
She's a product.
I'm just gonna say it.
Her
you know.
mother is a product. She's a product of the slave master.
Mhm.
So my thing is, I'm trying to step into her shoes. What was it like for her to walk around this plantation, being mulatto, or whatever what they called it then?
Mhm.
Think about, she caught it from both ends.
Oh, I'm sure.
You caught it from the slaves who were outside, as well as the slave master's wife. Come
Yeah.
on. So that's where, my
Or
next
did
chapter
he walk
is.
around inside the house claiming that she was his child?
He did. But I want to tell the complete.
Oh, okay. Because that did
Yeah,
happen.
it did.
Like they ran around calling them daddy.
Yes,
You know what I
yes.
mean? But outside,
They had some
they,
stuff
they,
going
they couldn't
on
say anything.
on this plantation. That's why I said this has to be a book.
Oh, I can't wait.
Well,
I can't wait for this one.
This has been really, really interesting.
Okay.
I am so glad that we had you on this program
Yeah.
here because this is probably enlightening for a lot of people listening to this.
Yeah.
And I want to know, well, I'm sure everybody else does too, how do they get in contact with you?
Again, www.unnamedsarahmiller.com. Karis Consulting 20@gmail.com. Unnamed Sarah Miller TikTok, Facebook,
Right.
Wow.
Instagram. Yes, you can definitely find me. You can start with www.unnamedsarahmiller.com, and you could go to TikTok, my Facebook, all from that actual website. So that's how they can reach me. And if they need help, I'm now helping other people. That's really what this journey
That's
about.
wonderful.
I'm helping other people write their stories, putting it into writing. So
I love it.
please reach out to me.
So
Thank-
everybody get this book.
Yes.
Everybody purchase this book. Can you get a digital download as well?
They
Digital
can. Amazon.
download,
Amazon.com.
There
Yes,
you
you
go.
can.
Everybody.
Absolutely beautiful.
Yeah. Unnamed.
Sarah Miller. The search for Sarah Miller.
Sarah Miller.
Yes.
Yeah, that's absolutely beautiful, and we want to thank you so much.
Thank
for
you.
being on the
Thank
program.
you.
It's
Thank
been
you
absolutely
so
great.
much. This was
This has
so
been very.
great.
This was really good. We might have to do a part 2, part 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
We might have.
Definitely when your next book comes out, we
Okay.
want to have
Definitely.
Yeah, we definitely want to do that, and we gotta get Renee involved in this too.
Yes, yes,
You
yes.
can't see her on camera, but that's because she chooses that. But it's all good. We're gonna do what we got to do here. I want to say again, I am Brett Jolly. This is Toni Trower, and this is People Like Us. We have had a ball today.
Yes.
It's been really fun, and this has been very informative. I can see why you were on 60 Minutes. We want to thank you guys so much. I think it's about time to wrap this thing down. And by the way, before we do, this is a great story here, and I want to say about this. Let's say just a little bit about the story here. This is what is this? What's the address of this?
African
Art.
African cultural art form.
African cultural art form. It's got some beautiful stuff in here that you really want to check out.
Absolutely amazing story.
It is a great store, and and they got
52nd
Zen over
Street.
there. She's still here, I don't know, and I mean, it's a great place. You guys come down here and check it out. All right. That being said, we've over our limit. Thank you guys so much, and we want you guys to have yourself a great evening, great day. This is People Like Us, and on behalf of us, we want to say ciao.
Thank you.